Hey beauties, morning to you. Let me tell you, integrity is a heck of a thing. And integrity spans across different, what we would call, let me take it from biblical, social infractions. So meaning whether it's secular or sacred infractions. So it's not somebody doesn't have integrity because they go outside of their marriage, or they commit fornication, or they steal, and it encompasses a wide variety of infractions, consistently, meaning they do it invariably, frequently. It's a part of their soul, which is a composite of the mind, the will, and the emotions. These are the three amigos that drives you to speak the way you speak, and act the way you act on a daily basis. Now, I was speaking with an HR person yesterday, and she said she had an HR supervisor who was an exemplary, and notable, and esteemed HR manager or supervisor. She said the lady would tell her, ensure that the staff benefits. In all that you do, ensure that your staff benefits. And she's obviously talking in an ethical way, in a morally upright way. We're not talking about anything illegal. Ensure that the staff benefits. And the reason why the woman had that conversation with her, the lady had that conversation with her, was that she was coming from a place where the people did not have integrity. They were shafting, literally stealing from their own staff. These are people who are wealthy, black people. We're doing this similar to slavery days, treating another black man and woman badly, stealing from them. So for example, if they were late for work a minute or two, if they made sure to write it down, and then they would charge them more than what the lateness would have required, their tardiness would have required. And when I say charge, I mean taking from their pay. They treated the staff shoddy and shabby. They weren't treated well. And they gave her an algorithm of how to calculate the salary of the staff. That is why, you see, it is imperative that when you're unlearning things and you're relearning, you have to do it and do it and do it again until it goes into your muscle memory and becomes a part of who you are. That is why doing good, you have to cultivate it. The Bible says, do not give up in doing good, because in due season you will be, do not do, well, it's really give up, although it says do not get weary. So sometimes when you hear people tell you, don't do good if people don't do good to you. If a particular person or people do not do good, don't do good to you. No, you cannot don't run with that theory. You have to sow seeds of righteousness. You have to sow seeds of blessings and favor to come back to you and to your children and your children's children. So even when it is hard, do the hard. They don't have to do good to you. You're not worried about them. Worry about your own blessings and favor that you're sowing. And I'm not saying you must be foolish. So they had taught her a poor, bad, inefficient, ineffective algorithm of how to calculate people's salary that cost them, made them lose. They weren't benefiting. Plus their salary was already poor. It was awful. And she knew she had to leave. And when she left, because of how she was trained, she carried that training to where she was. And even when they were showing her supervisor, and that supervisor was a good manager to her, because when she did the wrong thing, the manager would do the right thing for her. She did it again and again and again, and the manager realized, wait, something seemed to be off. And she called her aside and said, come here. Each time you do it and I change it, you keep going back. You're reverting to the old. What is happening? And she began to explain her issue. And the manager said, oh, no. I'm so sorry that you experienced that. But this is the situation. Ensure that your staff benefits. In all that you do, ensure that your staff benefits ethically, morally, legally. The Bible says David treated the people fairly and justly. So if they did a work, he paid them, he rewarded them. Well, he understood. He didn't shaft them. And I'm not saying that people must be tardy. Absenteeism is not good, or not being punctual. I'm not saying that. But things can happen. And for you to be like this, terror over them with a beating stick as 1 minute, literally 1 minute. She said they would literally start to calculate it and pull from your pay. Ensure that in all that you do. And she said when the lady sat her down and spoke with her, never again she made the mistake. And that is why, for me, you're not an effective leader when somebody may have a particular habit or may not catch on to something the way how you know it, or you are trained to do it, or you know how it should be done, and you just embarrass them, you gaslight them, you blackball them, you treat them with disdain, and create problems for them to try and make them look incompetent. She said she has never come across an HR manager like that in all her life. That was an HR manager. That was a leader. And I pray God blesses her wherever she goes. Anybody that looks out for people, anybody that embodies and exemplifies one of the greatest commandments of all, which is to love your neighbor as yourself. Treat people the way you want to be treated, ought to get more than an accolade. Stars will be in their crowns. Always ensure that the workers benefit. I'm telling you, you are sowing seeds of righteousness, blessings and favor for your children, for your children's children, for your children's children, and continuing. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. That is why you have some wealthy people who are, they die badly. And crosses left, right, and center may not be financial in the lives of their families because of how they treated other people. They have a poor family life. Poor. Terrible. They get beat up and box up and thump up and kick up, spat upon. You think it's a joke situation? I'm being real, people. I'm not trying to be offensive. The Bible says do good when you can all the time. Be at peace with people. Ensure that that is part and parcel why David never lost a battle. He treated the people fairly and justly. You think him give them some little measly salaries or wages? Well, he would get 100%, 200%, 300%. I'll talk about if you want premium service, we have to have premium pay. What? He knew that if he did well in the sight of God, God would already bless him. Remember his own son, Solomon. Yes, he would have left some amount of wealth for his son. And Solomon said, God, when he saw that he had to be leading some people, he said, Lord, my God, what is for me? But I beg you, God, do bless me with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And God said, that is one of the best prayers that you could ever pray. And because of that, I'm going to multiply your wealth. I'm going to give you wealth. You never asked for it. You did not ask, but I am giving it to you. So you don't have to do that. Look for ways in making somebody else's life great and good. The Bible says we must esteem others above ourselves. You see how people big themselves above people? And they wonder why the people, you're bigging yourself up above other people, and yet people are not bigging you up. You're crazy. You think I saw Sankey sing? Make people humble yourself. Make people say, what a talented man or woman. What a fantastic leader. What a fantastic manager. What a fantastic supervisor. David dealt with the people fairly, and meaning they paid them well. They did not suffer under his tutelage. They did not suffer under his leadership. That was a good man. That is part and parcel why he was considered a man after God's own heart. Is how many battles he had? 66 are there about? Not one single one the man lose. Remember, although Mayfair with when name Fair, that boxer guy, 50 not out, I would say. But although they are two different human beings. Floyd Mayweather. Ensure that your staff is treated with dignity, with care, with love, with compassion and kindness and generosity. I'm telling you, you're sowing seeds. Don't think that you're not. But you have some bosses, and I have faced them, who will shaft you like that first one that the HR person said they went through. Will treat you badly, find ways of you losing, not earning. And they wonder why their lives is in shambles. They wonder why. I pray that God reveals to them why. Because he will, if you ask him to. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this message.